This is still my lime green couch. So, what's been going on? A lot of stuff. So much stuff. Too many things. Ferguson. They say Monday night, 85 people were arrested. 63 people held up traffic on Interstate 70. It was the 1-year anniversary of Michael Brown. I wonder why everyone was acting so offish. Probably the reason, yeah, they haven't forgotten. No, no one will ever forget. Burned memories. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. Which leads me to, they really do. Black lives matter. Black lives do matter. Me being a black person, yes they do. Yeah. So, when you see so many of us dying for some unknown reason, it's unknown because the reason they give is pretty much BS. But still, why do we end up dying the way we end up dying? That's what Black Lives Matter comes from. That's what they're trying to solve and get rid of. All this racial death is just, it's really above everybody. But people don't think so. People think they're above us, which is probably the problem. Yeah. So, I'm with those guys, you know. I understand and I support them. Only thing that I have a problem with, just a little problem with, is that it came in on Bernie Sanders. Yeah, Bernie Sanders. That guy, he's an independent, and it's a slim chance that he'll get picked. That guy needs to be running this country. Bernie Sanders. When Black Lives Matter were at Bernie Sanders' rally in Seattle. Yes, they interrupted it, and they made their voices heard at his rally and interrupted him. The only problem I have with that is this guy is trying to work for us, not against us. And granted, I feel as though, yeah, it was for the supporters of Bernie Sanders, the white people, the white supporters. Yeah, I could see that that's what they were doing. It wasn't so much that, you know, fuck Bernie Sanders. You know, like, it was more of like people in the crowd, hey, you people, you like Bernie Sanders because he's white and he's talking, but you need to understand that Black Lives Matter. Plain and simple. But Bernie Sanders has been fighting for, you know, segregation rights for years. 20 years. So, I mean, this guy is all for black people. All for any race. All for people. Just like people in general. Not the 1%ers. And, you know, people can say, like, yeah, people talk about this and I'm like, yeah, they talk about it, but look at what he's doing. He's trying to make headway. And that's why I say it's a slim chance, because he's trying to make headway, but he doesn't play the games the other ones play. So it's going to be harder for him. So why, I mean, if anything, going to help him publicly spread out and so more people know about him. Hopefully. I mean, you never know, but still. Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders should be president. I'm sticking to that. That's the guy I'm voting for. Look at that face. Come on. You can trust that face. Talking about I wasn't going to vote, I still might vote. Who knows? Now that I see somebody worthy of voting for, yeah, I might carry my ass up there. Amnesty International supports decriminalization of sex trade. Yes. And you say why? Because, I mean, people are working. I mean, some people want to make it sound like they're doing this, but some of them are willfully working. And if they're willfully working out there, shouldn't their backs be covered? Shouldn't they have some sort of safeguard? I say yes. And I'm all for it. Okay, you know what? That officer in Texas killed that kid, football player, Christian Taylor. Yeah, he got fired. Yeah. And I hope this is something that's going to start. I hope this is an actual trend that will progress. Yes. An officer kills a black kid and then he is fired, and then they're going to seek and look into it. Because, yeah, questionable decisions. Yeah, of course it's questionable. I mean, they're all questionable, but half of the time, you don't even care to look into it. China has devalued their money again for the second day in a row, and they said this is something that has been done in a long freaking time. What does that mean? That means the importers increase, exporters decrease. Yeah, it's gonna suck balls. Now we're talking about movies. Now we're on movies, bitch. Mission Impossible 5, yes, Rogue Nation. That movie was pretty damn good. 4.5 O's. That's right, 4.5. It was pretty good. There were some parts of it that was kind of like, that didn't need to be in there, really. Just saying. But, all in all, good watch. Can watch it again. Rewatch countability is good. It's high on that. Very high. Good movie. Moving on. Got to watch Ant-Man as well. And Ant-Man, seeing now that it's kind of like the second lowest Marvel movie under, yeah. That movie. Yeah. I don't see why. Well, I kind of see why. But it shouldn't have, like, sunk it that low. It's probably because Paul Rudd. I love Paul Rudd. Paul Rudd is flipping hilarious. But this is the first time he's really getting that main star billing, which he really kind of didn't even get because of, Michael Douglas is in it. He's not a top bill actor. And so when you try to sell a movie with that kind of name, it's not going to go as high as when you say like Robert Downey Jr. and Chris Evans and these characters you already know about. It's not going to go boom like the other ones did. I mean, that's just the way it is. Nobody really knows. I mean, people know about Ant-Man, but the relative community doesn't really know about Ant-Man. They're just like, oh, that guy that was small with the oh, yeah. But the movie, it was great. Kind of wish it was a little bit more about the Scott Lang character. Now people say like, yeah, it was about it, but no, that was kind of the B story. That wasn't the A story. The A story was the father, daughter, Hank Pym, and all that. Well, if you wanted to do that, you should have made that for the next movie. Make that a prequel. This is supposed to be about Scott Lang, so you didn't have to go back and forth, 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 back and forth. It was a lot of back and forth and not enough Paul Rudd jokes. That's right. I said it.
It's called Sex Panther by Odeon. It's illegal in 9 countries. Yep, it's made with bits of real panther, so you know it's good.
It's quite pungent.
Oh, yeah.
Ooh, it's a formidable scent. Stings the nostrils. In a good way.
Yeah.
Brian, I'm going to be honest with you, that smells like pure gasoline.
They've done studies, 60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, let's go see if we can make this little kitty purr.
That was probably the problem with people when they went to see this. Like, it's not enough Paul Rudd. It's supposed to be about him. It's not enough Paul Rudd going on. That was the disappointing thing about that. But the movie was a good watch. Good watch. Can't wait to see what they do with the sequel, because I'm pretty sure that will be 10 times better. I give that 4 O's too. Saw Trainwreck with my girl. And we both enjoyed it. We both laughed. It was good. LeBron James' acting was something to witness. Indeed. I love Bill Hader. Bill Hader is hilarious. Always. Amy Schumer is kind of with me. I mean, she's funny, but I've seen plenty of female comedians that are almost funnier than her, but didn't get kind of the same into the atmosphere as she did. So that's why I'm kind of like, why did she get that? Because she's blonde and like more presentable. Because I mean, don't get me wrong, those female comedians, they weren't ugly, but you look at Amy Schumer and she's more of someone like, yeah, you can put into the camera and like people will look at her and they'll think she's attractive. She's sellable. She's very, very sellable. And I mean, what can you say? What did Jon Stewart say? You're one of those actress stars. And he got it right, and that's why I love Jon Stewart to the day I die. He's awesome, man. The movie overall was, the moral was there. I like the moral. I like the moral of this strong, independent woman just doing, you know, what she needed to do. That didn't bother me. What bothered me was at the end, she just let that shit all go. You know, I mean, granted, yeah, he probably could have been the guy of her dreams, but I don't know. To me, it seems like they will still have problems in the relationship regardless after the credits roll. So that's why get together. Going to an old movie, 500 Days of Summer, perfect example of how a relationship movie should go. That's why this movie kind of just got 3 O's. Pixels. Alright, saw Pixels. Pixels was entertaining too. 3.5 O's. Yeah. It was good, but it still was Adam Sandler frat humor. Bearing in mind that, I kind of hate that now he tries to do the frat humor with a wholesome type deal. Like, there's a family element in this. Like, just cut that crap out. You know what I'm saying? Just stop. Just be real. Be real about it. You know, like, just be dirty, be hilarious, you know, be spot on, you know what I'm saying? Like, his jokes were hitting, you know what I'm saying? They weren't all just like, ha ha, you know, it wasn't like that. I mean, he actually had witty comebacks, and that's what kind of made me enjoy it more, is that he wasn't just talking out of his ass majority of the time. But, I mean, hopefully this is the kind of direction he'll be going with more original movies that are not related into stupid fart jokes, because they're kind of done now. Moving on to Fantastic Four. Johnny Storm and the Stormettes. Yes. People's biggest complaint that I can see is it wasn't a Fantastic Four movie. It just wasn't. But what I will say is, it was better than the first and the second that came out however many years ago. I thought the movie was very interesting in the fact that it was a thriller. It was very thrillerish. It felt like it should have been rated R almost, because the feel of it was very creepy. I was like, whoa, what the fuck is going on? I'm like, am I watching Fantastic Four? By the end of it, me and my friend were like, yeah, we watched a movie about these 4 superheroes. That's basically what the movie is. These 4 superheroes are put into, I guess, real life circumstances. This is basically what would happen if people with powers came into the hands of the government and the government said, hey, you're going to work for me. Which is what would happen. I mean, let's not lie to ourselves. If that was to happen, the government would snatch your ass up and you'd never be heard from again. Yeah, they play nice. But, it was still good. I don't know what everybody's bitching about. Everybody's just got a stick up their ass. Doom. But I mean, it was a decent watch. Well, cats and kittens, that's all for today. Come back.